Hey guys, what's up? My name is Matthew Spazzini and welcome back to my channel. And I wanted to talk with you guys about a pattern that is very, very foundational for you to start recognizing and trading advanced patterns. And I wanted to go ahead and just talk about it and kind of look at it in the charts and just show you guys overall what it is, how to recognize it, and how you can trade it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So guys, this pattern is called the ABCD pattern. It is very, very foundational if you want to learn how to trade advanced patterns in the markets, okay? It is incredibly important that you understand this pattern because when you're looking for advanced patterns, this is what you're going to be looking into, all right? This is what's called a harmonic movement in the markets, and it is used for harmonic patterns. So anytime I'm talking about advanced patterns, that's usually what I'm referring to. I'm referring to harmonic patterns, okay? Now, harmonic patterns are anything like the cipher pattern, the Gartley pattern, the bat pattern, things of that nature. Those things are harmonic patterns. And we haven't really talked a lot about them on the channel here because, I'll be honest, I don't really trade them. Or at least I am not trading them yet. But I wanted to do a relatively quick video here to show you guys the very foundations of how you start to identify these advanced harmonic patterns. So ABCD pattern it's one of the most advanced or one of the most basic harmonic patterns out there. And what you basically have is you have an A to B, a B to C back down into a 382. So you have an impulse leg, a retracement into a 382. And then we impulse again into the D. So A to B, B to C, C to D. This is the ABCD pattern, okay? And now, in order for an ABCD pattern to be valid, you have to have the 382 retracement. Hands down, that's what you have to have. If it's any shy of the 382, it's in my book, at least in the industry of technical analysts, it's not considered an ABCD pattern. Okay, and the main reasons that we make this distinction is largely because we have to have something to measure off of when you're, doing a trading plan. When you're creating a trading strategy, a trading plan, you need something to measure off of. If you say that, well, this could be this could be an ABCD pattern, this could be an ABCD pattern if it retraces to here or here, that makes it near impossible to create a trading strategy off of because, so are you saying it has to retrace 5 pips, 10 pips, whatever? So in the industry, they just say a minimum of a 382 is what is required in order for an ABCD pattern to work. Now, there are other nuances to this. You're never going to find a perfect ABCD pattern, or at least very rarely. Generally speaking, what makes up the ABCD pattern is that the A to B leg is the same distance, the same length as the C to D leg, okay? So these two are actually clones of each other, and I'll show you that right here. This is what I did. I basically drew this, and I pulled it out to here. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Apparently, for whatever reason, that line was actually longer than I intended it to be. Okay, now, here we go. Now they're the same length. I don't know what happened with that. Oh, well, whatever. Accidents happen. So anyways, as you can see here, they are the same length. So the A to B impulse leg is the same length as the C to D impulse leg. Well, I guess the impulse is really the beginning of the move, but the A to D leg is the same distance, the same length as the C to D leg. So that's what makes it harmonic, is that they're the same, if not extremely similar in distance in terms of their movements, and that's what makes it a harmonic pattern. So again, you have to have a minimum of a 382. Now let's kind of go over here and look at the perfect, what is considered. I actually have a number of these drawn out here, but let's go ahead over here and look at, this is what is considered a perfect ABCD pattern, is where you have A to B, B to C, retracing all the way down to a 618 fib retracement, and then C to D. All right. Now, this is one of the foundations of why I trade my strategy. Now, I don't trade my strategy based off of whether it's an ABCD pattern. I just call mine a 618 trend continuation pullback strategy. Trend continuation, 618 pullback strategy. That's more or less what I call my strategy, but it has foundations in this ABCD harmonic pattern. Basically I wait for an extension, an impulse leg, then I wait for a retracement into a 618 fib retracement level, and then I wait for it to extend again, and I wait for it to touch the tip of the A to B leg, the A to B movement. And that is generally speaking what I'm looking for in my trading strategy. Now, I don't really care. You could easily do fib extensions if you wanted to, kind of like this right here. And you could absolutely go for a 1618, 1414, 127.2, whatever, what have you. You can easily do that, and that would be a way that you would actually trade an ABCD pattern. But it's very similar to what I do, although again, I'm not looking for an ABCD pattern. It's, mine's just more of a trend continuation pattern. It's incredibly similar to what I do, but this is a perfect ABCD pattern. When you go from A to B, B to C, and the C and the B to C retraces all the way down to the 618 fib retracement level, and then from C to D. Okay, this is considered a perfect one. Now, what happens if you retrace down to a 786? It's still valid. Again, all you need is a minimum of a 382 fib retracement level. Now, if you were to take this and it was to go all the way down here and close below, well, that's not a harmonic pattern because you made a new structure low. You violated the pattern. So that doesn't work, okay? But a 782 does. Or a 786 is a valid retracement. What about this? What if we come all the way down here and we retest this, the lows? That would still be considered, as long as it doesn't close below the A leg, the impulse leg, as far as I'm aware, that still is what would be considered a valid ABCD pattern. Okay, you could come anywhere in this area too. You just cannot close below the impulse leg, the A to B, the ABCD, the AB leg. Okay, but a 786, 382 is the minimum. A 50% is fine. 618 is the perfect ABCD pattern, and 786 is a good one. It is perfectly fine to trade this too. This would be valid. It's, again, the only thing that makes this invalid is if we close below the A to B leg, as far as I'm aware. Now, there might be people out there who say that I don't consider this to be an ABCD pattern because we are equal with the A leg or what have you. And okay, that's fine. That would be perfectly fine. You could say that too. If it's equal, then it may not be considered an ABCD pattern in their opinion. In my opinion, as long as it doesn't close below the A to B leg, the original impulse leg, you are fine. So as long as it hits the 382 and it retraces somewhere in here, you're okay. Now, trying to create a strategy that says, I'm going to take it if it's a 382, I'm going to take it if it's a 50%, I'm going to take it if it's a 618, a 786. Trying to create a strategy that says all that is going to be very complicated because which one are you honestly going to take, right? You're never going to know. I mean, are you seriously going to take all of them? We're going to say, oh yeah, I'll take a trade here, 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 here. No, you're not going to do that. So in reality, it's a good idea to choose one of them. Again, the perfect being the 618 fib retracement level, and that's the best way to go with it. Choose one and go from there. If you want to do a 382, perfectly fine. If you want to do a 786, perfectly fine. Just back test it and make sure that you understand the consistency of it. Now, it's also important to know, before we start getting into this with actual chart data, it's important to understand that you can have what is called a 3 drives ABCD pattern, where we have the initial impulse leg, we extend, we retrace into a 382, we extend again with the same length as the first impulse leg, and then we move this up here. Oh, I'm sorry, no, we move it down here, my bad. And then we retrace back in to the 382 again, and then we rally again with the exact same length as all the other 3 movements. This is still a valid ABCD pattern. Now, granted, I don't really know. I mean, A to B, B to C, C to D. I don't know if these have different letters attached to them. As far as I'm aware, they do not. But I'm not entirely 100% certain on that. What I do know is that this is called a 3 drives ABCD pattern, and this is absolutely valid. You can absolutely have this in your trading. So it's important to understand that you're not just looking for 2 drives. All these other ones that I've shown you here, these are classified as 2 drives ABCD patterns. Okay, I just didn't write the 2 drives in there. Most people, I don't know if they would classify them as two drives. You could classify them as such, but you don't have to. Basically, it's just an ABCD pattern. That's all you got to know. But with regards to this is a 3 drives ABCD pattern. You can absolutely have this, so it's really important to understand that. And these are great strategies and patterns that you could probably use in your trading as well. And, you could definitely do a 382 and then use fib extensions, from the swing low to the swing high and back down in. And then you could, see, did I get a 1618? Okay, I did. Boom, make money. And then if it retraces again, you do the exact same thing. So you could totally do this in your trading, or you could just, if you get the 618, or let's say you get a 382 retracement, you get entered, you could hold for a 3 drives pattern. I don't know the consistency of it. Okay, I don't know the consistency of any of this. Okay, this is just, I've never tested this strategy out. I'm just letting you know this is a pattern that exists that you can trade. I'm aware of it. I've looked into it. I found them in the charts before. I was taught this, years and years and years ago. So, and like I said, my strategy is founded in this ABCD pattern. As if any of you, if you've been watching any of my stuff, I wait for an extension, an impulse leg to extend, I wait for it to retrace, hit my 618 fib retracement level, and then to extend again. And that's how I have my trend continuation strategy. So I do have a fair amount of knowledge when it comes to this. But all right, that being said, let's go ahead and find one in the markets. Now, I already went ahead and found one, and I wanted to show you this before we started looking for them live, okay? Now, in this situation, now in the examples I gave up here, these were perfect examples. I hate perfect examples because very rarely are you ever going to see these perfect examples in the markets. That's my experience. You don't normally see these perfect examples. Normally what you see is something really along the lines of this, and this is actually a pretty good looking one. You tend to see worse with live data. So let me go ahead and kind of explain to you what happened here. So first, we had our impulse leg for an A to B. All right. So this looks a little higher, but that's just because it's at an angle. In fact, if you look at the crosshair, you could definitely see the horizontal line there, that it's even more or less. So you have your A to B, B to C, and then your C to D. And if you can see here, this is an exact replica of this line. Now, as you can see here, if we move our crosshairs up here and we line it up with the top of this line, you can see that the market actually went a little higher than what the A to B, the actual initial impulse leg was. That's okay. It's okay to go a little higher or a little lower. You don't want to go too high, okay? You don't want it to go too high, and you also don't want it to go too low. So in the event that let's say that it was actually under here, let's say that the market stopped around here, and you had this big chunk of pattern here, well, I wouldn't consider that to be a valid ABCD pattern, right? Because it was too short. Or if this was to extend all the way up here, again, I wouldn't consider that to be an ABCD pattern because we didn't really have any kind of a real retracement or a real pause in the market around the pattern. So I wouldn't really consider it. Now, is this a perfect one? I can already tell you it is not. Well, actually, I don't think it is. Let's see here. No, it's not. It did hit the 382, so it is a valid ABCD pattern, but it never actually came down to the 618, so it's not considered a perfect ABCD pattern. It actually came all the way down to the 50, a little past the 50, and that's about it. So, but this is a good example of an actual ABCD pattern with actual data and whatnot. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and I don't think I found any other ones. I looked for more. I don't think I did. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. Let's go back here, remove the drawing. Let's kind of go ahead and see if we can find more. I'm going to go back even farther here for you guys because I honestly, I haven't done this yet. I tried to find more. I was always short a little or too long, and it was always difficult to find it, but that is the way that it goes sometimes. Okay, so we're going to start from here. As you can see, this is way longer than this, so definitely not accurate at all. You could probably make an argument for, okay, so we kind of retraced here. So let's see if this would be one, all right? So I'm going to show you how to actually draw them in, and then I want you guys to go practice this on your own. If you're interested in this, I want you to go practice it on your own, and start looking for it in your own charts. Okay, and let's see here. Oh, look at that. All right, so as you can see here, we have a big chunk up here that just we didn't end up touching. So this would not be a valid ABCD pattern in my book, okay? It wouldn't be. Now, that said, it got pretty close. You can still trade these. Just because a pattern doesn't work out perfectly, it doesn't mean you can't trade. You could still have traded. And let's see if we had a 382 fib retracement, because if we didn't, then it's not even a valid at all. Ooh, that is close. Let's see. Let's zoom in on this. No, we actually didn't. We never touched the 382. Okay, unfortunately, it didn't work out. We never touched the 382, so automatically, because of the retracement, it would not have been considered an actual ABCD pattern. That's a little bit of a disappointment, but sometimes that just happens. All right, let's see here. You got a little bit of a retracement here, and then a retracement here again, kind of a complex pullback, if you will. I know I've talked about that on the channel before, but yeah, this is definitely a complex pullback, but again, not exactly an ABCD pattern, because this is much longer than this is. I mean, I can guarantee you this length is longer than this length, so definitely not one, unfortunately. You know, we have a pause here. Let's see if this one is. I don't think this one is. I'm going to say no. But let's find out. Actually, let's go ahead and do something like that. Okay. Close enough. Nope. Way too tall. We have a massive chunk that we did not reach, or that we did reach, or we reached here, and then now we have even more. So again, not an ABCD pattern, but you know, more of a failed one, I guess you could say. It's very, very difficult to actually find the exact measurements in the real market. So you're not going to have much in the way of a perfect ABCD pattern. It's not going to happen. And that's why I wanted to show you guys this, and that's why I wanted to walk through with you guys this in the real markets, because I wanted you to see the realities of it. Now, we're on the hourly chart and we're on the CAD Swiss. These patterns work on every single, in every time frame, every market, even stock markets as well. They are found there too, okay? This is just something that you find in technical analysis in general when it comes to anything that has a chart like this. So it's just, it works in all charts, all markets, and all time frames. Now, if you're using different things like this, a point and figure chart, I can't say that it's actually going to work out for you. Okay, I can't say. You're not going to find that. So it all depends on what you're using, right? It all depends on what you're using. And I just lost my place. Give me a minute, I'll find it. Okay, I found it. Perfect. All right, so as you can see here, we came all the way up here, and there's still a big chunk left, so we're a little shy. So again, not a valid ABCD pattern. So you can see how kind of aggravating this can really be. You can definitely see that. So now we're just kind of chopping sideways. We're just in consolidation. But you probably could see some ABCD patterns in here. Let me see here. You might between here and here, probably not. Let's try this out. Here and here. Did we find one? No, but it's close. I mean, this one's pretty close. You might be able to consider this one to be one. Not gonna lie, you might be able to see it. All right, actually, I don't know why I did that, because that wouldn't matter. I'm gonna need to clone this one and then apply it to that one. All right, so, you know, it kind of sucks because you can't really... Okay, let's do this. All right, and now you can see it a bit better. Let's go ahead and, I think, move it down a bit. All right, perfect. Okay, so as you can see here, we actually did... We did get filled, okay? Certainly the ABCD pattern did complete right around here, and then we continued a little higher. This little distance here... when you're talking about it closing beyond what the original impulse leg was, I think this would be okay. Personally, I would be fine with this, so I would consider this to be an ABCD pattern. It went a little bit past, but it didn't go a lot past. So some people may say that, no, I don't consider this to be an ABCD pattern and went too far past. I mean, honestly, it's rather subjective, but in my mind, we had the original impulse leg from here to here. We retraced. And here's the thing. We didn't close below the A to B leg, but we did, oh man, we did extend further past it. So you know what? I would honestly say because we extended further past it, that's kind of suspicious to me. I'm not sure if I would actually classify that as an ABCD pattern because of that. I wasn't even paying an ounce of attention to that. You see, this is the unfortunate thing when it comes to this. When you're actually trying to apply this to live data, it's not at all as easy as it sounds. You know, I give you perfect, I give you perfect examples, or this is what my mentor used to do. He always used to give perfect examples, and then he would expect you to find it in the markets, and it's like, it was always really hard for someone who was new like me, because it was like, well, yeah, I get it, but what you're showing me isn't exactly perfect. You're showing me perfect stuff, but am I ever going to find perfect stuff in the markets? No, very rarely. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. Perfect examples are great to get the concept across, but then you need to understand that when you're actually looking at this stuff in the charts, you're not going to see a perfect example. And that's one thing that I hate. So I wanted to show you that and show you that it's okay if you don't see perfect examples when you're looking for this kind of a pattern. All right, so we have X to A. I mean, not X to A. We have A to B, B to C, C to D. And let's see, what kind of retracement do we have? We've got over a 618, so that's good. But unfortunately, there is a small chunk that we are missing. All right. Now, is this a big enough chunk to classify this as not an ABCD pattern? It's a small amount. It's probably the smallest one that we found that just was short just a little bit. I don't know. Again, it's rather subjective. I mean, some people might say that this is short enough to be classified. It's okay to be a little bit short. This is what I mean by a little bit short, and it's for me, it's fine. For you, it might not be. I would say yes, this is short enough. I mean, I don't know. Preferably, you'd really want it to be somewhere up here. So I don't know. I would say, let's say no. All right. For simplicity's sake, let's just say no. We were still too short and not short enough to classify this as a ABCD pattern, but it's close. It was really, really close. So we'll say that much. All right. Now let's see. All right. So we equaled this. Maybe this could be one. See, this is the difficult thing. The reason that we do this is so that you can train your eye, also called your reticular activating system. We train your eye to see this in the markets on a consistent basis. And as you can see, we came down here, we came up, and we came down again. And again, we kind of extended far beyond there. And really, the pause was really here. So that's a bit too much over, but again, it's close. It's very close. All right. It's very, very frustrating. I'm sure, as you can see, it's very, very frustrating because you're looking for this, and particularly when you're trying to do this live and you're showing somebody else how to do this, it's very, very frustrating when you can't find it. And you keep finding stuff that looks similar, and then it just ends up not being the one that you're looking for, and that's the most annoying thing in the world, right? Again, we're too short here to be considered as one, so we're just going to continue to move on here, yada 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 yada. From here to here, maybe? I don't know. So let's see. And then we shall clone. Hey. No, not one there. Man. See how frustrating this is? See how aggravating it can be to find these? I mean, look, they really are good patterns. Please don't let this influence you in terms of of not liking this type of pattern. They really are good patterns, but finding an exact or near perfect one, like the one I showed you, took me a while to actually find when I was going back through historical data and things of that nature. So just keep that in mind, that when you're looking for this, it might be difficult to find. Okay, so we have here, we definitely paused up here, and we are a little higher. This you probably could say is one. It went a little past, but that's probably okay. You know, I mean, honestly, yeah, it's not too bad. But hey, at least, you know, A to B, B to C, C to D, we did fill, like we did complete the pattern right here, and we went a little past it. So, and then we retraced, and then we continued on. So yeah, I would say that this one would be valid. All right. Again, it's not perfect, but I would say it's valid. At least it completed, right? And yeah, I would say that looks pretty good. All right, let's continue on and see. Here's another potential other one right here. Let's do this. All right, good. Okay, good. Measurement's good. Let's continue on. And let's... Okay, yet again, we have another one here where, and this one's even better than the last one, where yes, the pattern completed with A to B, B to C, C to D, and it completed, and then it only came up a little higher, even lower than last one. And let's double check this real quick. This also equaled a 382 and a 382 fib retracement level and a 50% fib retracement level. Let's actually look at this real quick, just to be on the safe side. I mean, I already know that this one also equaled this as well, and it is valid. So yeah, we definitely got a 618 all the way down to a 786. So not bad at all. So there we go. We found two patterns that completed as ABCD, and actually, was this a 3 drives? Let's see. Clone. Right here. It's not going to be a perfect 3 drives, obviously, but let's just see. Kind of, yeah. So we extend, we retrace, extend again. We extend a little farther than the first one, like we saw before, but then we extend it again, and now we're even shorter than we were before. So, or we're even actually over more so than what we were before. So yeah, I guess you could kind of classify. I think that that's a little much to be over that much. Sorry about the noise. There was a really, really loud car that was going by. My office is unfortunately like right on the street here, so you are going to hear car noises and things of that nature, which is a little annoying. Let's see if we can find one more, and then we will call this a day. I don't think that's going to be one. I think it's going to be short, but we can try. Actually, let's do it like this. Cologne. Nope. We're short. Not one. So you see, as you guys get better and better and better at this, your eyes are going to identify them more and more and more, and it's going to be a lot easier to identify these and highlight them. So just to kind of give you guys just that bit of hope there, the more you do this, the better off you're going to be. Oh man, I thought that was for sure had a decent chance, but no, it's too far. And it is difficult to find a good one, okay? So don't get upset with yourself if you don't find a good one, all right? Don't think you suck at trading or anything of the sort. It's just difficult. It's one thing to understand a concept and then to apply that concept to actual real data. It's a completely different game, right? I mean, it's completely different. When you're taking a theory, when you're taking an idea and you're applying it to something else, it's very, very different. So, no, we're still too short, in my opinion, on that one. But we were close. Oh, that looks close. All right, cross your fingers. Let's find the last one, and then we'll get out of here. Alright, let's see. Come on, cross your fingers, cross your fingers, cross your fingers. We're going to be over, but that's okay. Alright, well, we're a fair bit over, but, I mean, the pattern did complete. The pattern completed right around here, continued to retrace, and then kind of went back up, or continued to, I guess, extend, and then ended up retracing. So, it extended a little past it, but, yeah, I don't know. That kind of a distance... It's very difficult to make that call. It really, really is difficult to make that call. I'm going to say no, because it extended too much. You see what I'm saying? This is actually kind of difficult, isn't it? I mean, it's difficult. You guys are seeing how boring this is. I mean, this is really, really boring to have to sit here and go through the charts trying to find examples of this. But this is just the way the cookie crumbles. That's just the way that it is. So, you know, this is trading for you. You learn a concept. You look, all right, perfect. Here we go. Here is one. Awesome. We finally found it. Make sure my measurements are close. Close. Okay. So yeah, we have our impulse leg, A to B, B to C. It's not a 382. I can tell you that right now, but it is valid. It's definitely over 382. So this is more of a close. It's a 618. It's a 618. It's a little over 618, but that is a good one. I would classify that as a perfect one. And then we extend it from B to C, C to D. We completed here, and we only extended a little past the completion before retracing and then rallying again. So this is a good one right here. And I know it's a small one. It's inside of a small trend. You know, it's not like the big one that I showed you when we first got done looking at all the drawings, but this is a valid harmonic pattern. Okay. So that's it. That's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, this has been a relatively long video, so I'm going to go ahead and close it out here. Yeah, that's it. That's how you trade the ABCD pattern. That's how you identify them. That's what it is. It's a harmonic pattern and is the very foundation of trading harmonic patterns. Whether you're looking for Gartley's, bat patterns, butterflies, cipher patterns, whatever, the ABCD pattern is absolutely the very foundation of all of that. It's the very foundation of finding harmonic patterns, and harmonic patterns are incredibly good to get into. They can be very accurate. They can make you a lot of money. Again, make sure to test those if you know about them already, but that is the very foundation of harmonic patterns, the ABCD pattern. It's a very, very good pattern to have. And yeah, so, you know, make sure to spend time in the markets, go out there and, you know, just look for those trades and stuff like that, and train your eye to identify them. Okay. They're very, very good, and they can make you a fair amount of money. You could just trade the ABCD pattern alone, or you can pair it with even more measurements to make other harmonic patterns and things of that nature. It kind of just depends on what you're doing. Just, hey, as always, know the risks, plan accordingly. Like I always say at the end of every video, make sure you are back testing so you know the risks, you know the outcomes, the positive expectancies or lack thereof, and just make sure that that's what you're doing. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like the channel. Or make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And hey, if you're getting value out of this, consider sharing it with a friend. You know, share it with someone who's also interested in trading. You know, these videos I'm doing, you know, I'm trying to provide you guys a good amount of value here. And ultimately, I just want to promote this message of financial freedom and independence to as many people as we possibly can. And I would really like to share my knowledge of trading to as many people and create a trading community as well. So if you guys are interested in that, hey, consider sharing it with out there on the social media, on the interwebs. And if you guys will do that for me, I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, know the risks, plan accordingly, and have a great day.